A house with energy label E can lose 20,000 to 40,000 euros in market value compared to label C or even B. And that's only 2 or 3 steps difference on the scale. The problem? Most owners don't even know why their home is inefficient. The benefit of today's video: higher home value, lower bills, more comfort, and blackout resilience. Do you have national regulations like a home energy label? Then watch this video, because with DIY you get a mile towards compliancy with minimal cost. Hi, Norbert here. I'm energy engineer, and in video number 121 I explain how to make an energy audit of your home. In my past career I did energy audits for large factories, even automotive, aircraft and train factories. Now I want to transfer this experience to you. Energy labels affect property value. A small behavioral change can reduce 5 to 50% of consumption, and a small or bigger technical change can reduce it by 10 to 40%. DIY optimizations can also make you less dependent on utilities. The 12 steps of an energy audit. I grouped the energy conservation opportunities, or ECOs, in 4 categories for clarity. Diagnostics, reducing heating and cooling, making electricity smarter, and building resilience. Let's start with A. Know your home. And you start with diagnostics, of course. Here we start with a list of 12. Number 1. Measure real electricity consumption. Use plug meters, a central meter on the wall, or smart plugs. We also make an inventory of all consumers and its power rating. And by multiplication of the working times, or just taking the cycle times of, for example, washing machines, you estimate the monthly consumption. Compare that with the kilowatt-hour value on your bill and correct the inventory. And why? You discover the silent vampires: old fridges, pumps, and standby electronics. This is our meter for instant power and the energy counter, well visible on the wall of our living room. Number 2. Check heating and cooling energy. You can have a small heat meter or a flow meter plus temperature sensors. Make the same inventory of above with fuel or hot water. And why is this? It helps calculate seasonal efficiency by comparing what you get with what you pay. Number 3. Check insulation weak spots. Take an affordable thermal camera in winter or summer. And why? Because these devices that you just put on your smartphone identify spots that typically cause 20 to 40% of energy losses. Number 4. Compare energy use versus outside temperature. Degree-day analysis with a simple spreadsheet. And why? They show if your heating bill is normal and justified. Why an energy audit matters and how I make it concrete for you. So far the diagnostics. Before we go on with point 5, which is the first ECO, the energy conservation measure, I introduce you to a complete DIY energy audit kit with templates and a spreadsheet for calculations that I offer on Gumroad. See the link below in the description. Remember, a better energy label can increase the value of your house, and it can also be required by the regulations in your country. Preparing with DIY to compliance is a low-cost alternative to calling right away a costly audit service team that maybe just wants to sell you their products. My DIY energy audit will not give you an official energy label, but make the process much easier and put you in the driver's seat. So let's now come into action and let's save energy. The second part: reducing heating and cooling demand. Number 5. seal infiltration. Where do you find it? Doors, windows, or for example a roof hatch. Here you see an example. A 3 mm gap can lose the equivalent of 50 or 100 watt heater permanently. Number 6. Optimize the thermostat curve. I mean here during mild weather. Also put the temperature lower during the night. And why is that? The heat loss is proportional to the temperature difference. Number 7. Optimize hot domestic water. That means lower the temperature if it is safe, insulate pipes and the boiler itself. And why? You can save 10 to 15% of energy. Number 8. Combine heating yourself with heating the house. And what's that? It's a normal clothing, electric heating of your bed or even an electric jacket. Also try to flock with several people in one room and leave big rooms at a lower temperature. And use a combination of central heating for base heating and additional heating sources in rooms with more people, for example a stove or a heat pump. Why is that? Because you save 8% per degree Celsius on central heating, while adding only a low consumption for heating body or a small room. In many of my videos I show original ways to create these additional heating sources. Now we start with the part C. Make electricity smarter. Number 9. Replace the 3 worst consuming devices. You don't want to make a full makeover, just the 3 biggest culprits. For example, is the fridge more than 10 years old? And why? Because these 3 measures, they can give 80% of the results. Number 10. Shift loads to cheap hours. Washing, domestic hot water, charging power tools and also the EV. Check if your utility has another contract where night and weekend tariffs are really cheap. And why is that? Because you minimize the cost for the same consumption and you have also society. I describe this also in my new Techno-Thriller, The Global Fall of Voltage. Now 11. Kill standby loads. A smart power strip reduces consumption with 10 to 30 watts permanently, 24 hours. In Europe that is between 2 and 6 euros per month. How much costs the smart strip? That's about 30 euros. And just a manual power strip, that's 3 times less. So that means you have a payback of about 5 months. But it also makes your life easier. And now we come to the last part. It's a build resilience, and there we have only one general measure. It is to prepare for outages. So take a small or a bigger battery, inverter, prepare also with LED lighting and water pump backup. And why? Because that offers security of supply and peace of mind. How many blackouts do you have in a year? And how many hours do they take in an average? What are the inconveniences that you experienced during the last blackout? DIY Energy Audit. Today I showed you the overview of how to audit your home. And in the description you can download a free, simple checklist. Energy labels are required in Europe and increasingly also in the UK, Australia, Canada and some US states when selling, renting or applying for rebates. This creates a costly market of certification services. A DIY audit based on those same principles lets you estimate your label, find hidden losses and prepare your home before calling a certified auditor. You save money, you know where you stand, and you can target upgrades that actually improve your label, or maybe even DIY some of the improvements yourself. With this kit, you stay compliant and in control. If you want the full professional checklist, the templates and the calculation sheets, I will publish them next Saturday on Gumroad. I need a full week of work for that. In the description you see already a link to that product page on Gumroad that is already active and contains a description of what you will find next week. Put a bookmark on that description. And now I wish you good energy.